afternoon, my fellow Tottenham fans, and welcome back to the Irish Hotspur with your boy Big Dave, bringing you your predicted lineup as Tottenham make the trip up to Birmingham tomorrow afternoon to take on Aston Villa in what is being dubbed as a season-defining game in the run for top four. And I would also argue it's Postecoglou's most important team selection of the season. So hopefully we get the best performance of the season to match. So let's get into it. The lineup that I think Postecoglou would pick to take home all 3 points. Retaining his place between the sticks is Guglielmo Vicario. I am expecting him to be tested an awful lot tomorrow, so we need him to be on top form. Also, we need him to be on his toes as well. I'm presuming Aston Villa will put a lot of balls in behind that back line to feed the likes of Ollie Watkins, Diaby, Leon Bailey, use their pace. So we will need him to be on his toes and act as a sweeper keeper. He's only kept one clean sheet in his last 17 games, and that did come in the FA Cup against Burnley. And a clean sheet here tomorrow will go a long way to helping Tottenham secure Champions League football for next season. At left back, Destiny Udogie retains his place. I'm expecting him to have a long, difficult afternoon with Leon Bailey and Matty Cash both marauding down that right-hand side. Destiny Udogie is no stranger to picking up a booking. I think it's absolutely crucial that he avoids an early booking and walking on a tightrope for the long periods of this game. At right back, Ange Postecoglou has confirmed the return of postman PORRO, who delivers UK-wide. Pedro Porro has 8 assists to his name for Spurs this season. His ability on the ball and his deliveries from set pieces could prove vital for us tomorrow. He will be up against it with Diaby tomorrow, so we'll need to stay switched on defensively and lock up that right-hand side. At centre-back, the Argentinian assassin Cristian Romero keeps his place in the starting lineup, and we need another massive performance from the Rambam at the heart of our defence. I know there will be a lot of needle in this game, so Romero does have to keep his head and not do anything rash, but he's already proven that this season. He's got less red cards, less yellow cards, and less fouls at this stage than what he did last season, so he's already shown that he is calming down in that regard, and I do think Ange Postecoglou, giving him the vice captain, has maybe given him a lot more responsibility, and Romero's definitely living up to that. Interestingly enough, Romero is also our 4th highest scorer this year. With Porro back on set pieces, I would not write off another Rambam. At left side of centre-back, it is Romero's partner in crime, Mickey Ice Cold Van de Veens. Is going to be absolutely key tomorrow. Aston Villa will look to put balls in behind that back line, get Tottenham turned at every opportunity, using the pace of Ollie Watkins, Leon Bailey, Moussa Diaby, and Van de Ven has been absolutely crucial to sniffing a lot of them out so far this season. He's done it all season long. I'd argue no one has been a match for him. I thought he might struggle against Mateta last week with the physicality, but my God, did he stand up to that, and he has an absolute crucial role to play for us tomorrow. At the base of midfield, I do think Bissouma will keep his place, with Rodrigo Bentancur really struggling for consistency since his return from that ankle injury. I'd also argue I do think Bissouma is gradually getting better and hopefully looking somewhat towards the player he did in the first 10 games of the season. One highlight from the Crystal Palace game was if the pass wasn't on, he got on the ball, dribbled it, and made different passing angles available. That's something that he done in his first 10 games of the season, and hopefully he's starting to get his confidence back, and we need an absolute massive game from him tomorrow. There has been sort of a common theme this season where he has been caught in possession an awful lot, which has been absolutely left devastating to us on the counter-attack. He's going to have a clean game here, cannot get caught or dispossessed at the base of that midfield and leave us exposed like that. He's going to have a huge game tomorrow. I am going to bring back in Papa Mata Starboy. Papa Mata Star was a surprise name on a substitute bench last week, as Postecoglou revealed in his post-match press conference that Star has been dealing with a back issue of late. However, I'm expecting this to be a real physical game in the midfield. Sarr turns over ball more than any other player in the Tottenham midfield, and he absolutely works his nuts off, and I do think we need that energy in that midfield tomorrow. I think it'll be an absolute key factor for us to be able to get a foothold in this game. On the left side of the midfield tree, and the guy tasked with bringing creativity, is James Maddison, who got his assist last week, who put in a lovely sort of delicious lofted pass for Cristian Romero to finish off. But we are going to need our lock picker to be at his very best tomorrow. I still don't think Maddison is anywhere near his best, but I would say that most of Maddison's goals and assists have come away from home this season, so I'm expecting him to turn up and have an impact here. Now, moving into the forward line, which I found very frustrating at times this season. I don't think the fluidity is there with them whatsoever. They seem to turn up for a 10-15 minute spell most games and think that is acceptable. I would like to see a lot more consistency, and we will start on the left wing, and we will keep Timo Werner here. I thought first half he was absolutely diabolical, missed that huge chance as well. But second half he came out with a much more improved performance and also bagged his goal, which should do his confidence the world of good. If Aston Villa do dare to come at the high line, he's going to be absolutely crucial in exploiting it. We've seen time and time again this season he makes a lot of runs. They don't always get fed, but that's where the difference has to be. Anytime he makes that run, you have to feed it. And hopefully we'll see a lot more consistency from Werner going forward, being buoyed by the confidence off the back of opening his account for Tottenham Hotspur. Over to the right-hand side, Brennan Johnson has given Ange Postecoglou a massive headache, a good headache, I would argue, heading into this game, especially after his exploits off the bench last week. However, I know there's a large clamour for Johnson to be rewarded and that it is a meritocracy, which I fully understand. However, I do think there's large parts of Deja and Kulusevski's game that does get overlooked. And I'm going to keep him here at right wing. And the reason being, I think Aston Villa, they do look to rough Tottenham up over the last few years. They've tried that and we haven't had the answers. I think they're going to use the exact same game plan here very early on. Try and rough Tottenham up, get under their feathers and see what you can do, see how they respond. If it was Brennan Johnson, I fear that they would look to take him out nice and early, especially if they do play with the high line. I think Kulusevski will stand up to that physical test a hell of a lot more. But also what I think could become crucial, especially in the early stages, is an out ball, someone to be able to hold up the ball. You look at Werner and Son, not the biggest of guys and probably not their best asset. Whereas Kulusevski, it's one of his best assets, being able to hold up the ball and either play players in or just get us further up the pitch. Also, his ball carrying ability from deep, if there isn't options to be able to hold it or play others into play, his ball carrying ability is next to none. He can get on that ball and drive us all the way up the other end of the pitch and camp us in Villa's half swap periods of time. I get the questions around Kulusevski's ability out there in terms of, does he deliver on a consistent enough basis? Fully understand that. But for me, the reasons why I've given, I think, will play pivotal in the early parts of this game. I do think Kulusevski will turn up and come with the answers. However, I also think Brennan Johnson will be much more suited to coming off the bench and being another impact sub like he's shown so far this season over recent weeks. You also have to remember Aston Villa have played in Europe on Thursday night and they've got a massive game coming up again next Thursday. The last leg finished 0-0 with Ajax. So they probably will have to make some substitutions somewhere in the second half. But also, them players are going to tire out. And that's where I think we will get the very best out of Brennan Johnson for this game. And if he comes in off the bench and has another massive impact, by all means, the following week, give him his opportunity in the starting 11. And then moving on to striker and the man who carries the burden of Tottenham's fans' expectancy of Champions League football next season and hoping to add to his goal against Crystal Palace last week, and that is El Capitan, Son Heung-min. He's been absolutely sensational so far this season. I believe he's got 19 goal involvements in his last 20 games, but also he's got 5 goals at Villa Park in his last 3 visits as well. So Son is going to be absolutely crucial. If Villa do come with that high line, Son got a hat-trick there not so long ago, a couple of seasons ago, from exactly that, playing the ball straight in behind Son's run, absolutely perfect like it was against Palace last week. And as we know, he's probably the most ice-cold finisher one-on-one I've seen in world football. So we're going to need a huge shift from our captain tomorrow. But guys, that's it. That's my predicted lineup that I think Postecoglou will pick. Please give me your predicted lineup in the comment section below. Please give me reasons if you disagree with some of my selections. We'll have a good chat on it. And give me your pre-match thoughts and your score predictions. But guys, that's it. I'm off to enjoy the rugby. Come on, you boys in green. Let's beat the English today and hopefully go on and win the Triple Crown and the Six Nations Grand Slam. That would be absolutely unbelievable. Also, if any of you watched the Anthony Joshua and Ngannou fight last night, please get in the comments and let me know what you think of that knockout. It was absolutely devastating. And hopefully we can produce one of them to Aston Villa tomorrow. As always, come on, you Spurs. In the mighty hands we trust. We never stop. Let's go.